term here is a point. Remember on Friday I said, hey, I don't need you to do definitions for me. I don't need to memorize definitions. What I need from you guys is I tell you the vocabulary term, you can draw it for me. So when we say a point, here's what we're looking for. It's a dot, don't get me wrong. But you got to have a little bit more than that, though. You need to be able to name it. And the way we name a point is with a capital letter. Okay, so near every point, you're going to see a capital letter. And tomorrow, if you guys came in and my first question tomorrow, I just drew that and said, name that. I need you to be able to speak it to me too. All right, so you see the diagram. What did I just draw? That is called point P. All right, point P. All right, I'm not going to spend too long on that. But if I put an infinite amount of points together, I get our second word, which is called a line. Now, I got to be particular here. When you draw a line, you have to have arrows on both sides. If you're missing an arrow on one side, guys, that's a totally new term I got to go over next week. If you leave both arrows off, that's a term I'm going over tomorrow. So it does matter. If you're drawing a line, you have to have arrows on both ends. All righty? Now remember, I said it's an infinite amount of points put together. So why don't we put some points on this line? A, B, and C. So there's a line. I draw it. How do you write it mathematically now? That is a line. All right, first is we're going to start using symbols. All right, symbolic notation. The symbol for a line is just a mini one. Underneath it, you are going to give me a minimum of 2 points on that line underneath that symbol. So one way, line A, B. Notice I've given you 2 points on that line. Minimum. Could I put 3 or 4? Sure, but minimum you have to have 2. All right, somebody else now. First question of the day. When I go to my numbers here, name this line a second way. I could name it line AB. I could also name it line, how many do we have in here? 16. 11. Here we go, William. AC, perfect. And it doesn't have to go in any particular order. I could have named this line CBA or CAB. All right, that's just as long as you have 2 points. 2 points. Don't go on yet. You're going to see this line named a second way. In your textbook tonight, when you do the assignment, a line may not have any points showing. So how the heck do I name it? You will see a lowercase letter next to one of the arrows. That's not a point. It is not a point. It is, the book is telling you, hey, because I gave you no points to name it, you could also name this line M. So that's the second way to name a line without points. It's just by the lowercase letter near one of the arrows. Questions? So we have a point, a line, and now I want to introduce to you, what was it? Drop. Good work, good work. A plane. Okay, let me introduce a plane. Now, again, I don't care if you don't know the straight definition, but can we just take a look at this definition? How ridiculous this is. A flat surface that extends in all directions endlessly. So how am I going to draw that, right? This thing's going to keep going on either side endlessly. We can't draw that. So we draw a smaller version of it, which is what I have up here. Okay, here's an example of what you'll see a plane looks like. But hey, visually, they're saying, woo, woo, all directions endlessly. All right, but that's what we're going to have right there. There's my plane. Inside the plane can be a couple things. You can have points inside a plane, or you could have lines inside a plane. For now, I'm just going to put 3 points in this plane. Point A, point B, and point C right here. I could also have lines in there. All right, you'll see that coming up. All right, how do I name a plane? Remember, you had to have 2 points to name a line. For a plane, the bad news first. I'm sorry, kids, I don't have a symbol for plane. You have to actually write out P-L-A-N-E. Oh, that spells plane. Good job. Good job. Our spelling bee whiz is in here. Now, how many points do you need? 3. But, listen, those 3 that you pick cannot form a line. So does everyone agree if I connected A, B, C, does that form a line? Absolutely not. So you have to have 3 points in the plane, but those 3 points you pick cannot form a line. So I could call this plane ABC. You have to give me 3 points that don't form. The second way to name a plane, what if there is no points in there? Like it's going to be in your textbook tonight. You will see, if there's no points, you will see a capital letter in one of the corners. All right, so let me put P up here. That's not a point because notice I didn't put the dot with it. So the other way I can name this is plane P. All right, 3 points that don't form a line or a capital letter in one of the corners. Everyone good? Okay, I'm going to, not yet, hold on. I'm going to let you and your group do 1, 2, 3, and 4 here in a second. But before I do that, I want to make sure we are clear on the diagram that you're going to use for 1 through 3. Okay, so go ahead, flip it over. Yep, flip it over so you can see the diagram I'm talking about. Okay, in the plane, do you guys see 3 lines working here? I'm not going to name them because that will give away some of the answers. But does everyone see the 3 planes? Or the 3 lines in the plane? All right, does everyone see these 2 right here? These 2 I'm pointing to right here that are nice, dark. All right, I just want to make sure we're clear. Those are on the plane. They're sitting on the plane, these 2 right here. Now, everyone see this one that comes with a dash line? Why did they put a dash line there? Because they want you to know, take a look at mine. That one goes through the plane. It's not on it. It's not sitting on it. It's going through the plane at point R. See the difference? On, that's on the plane, through the plane. Okay, so that's how you can show me a line is going through the plane is by a dash line. It has no effect on here. I just want to make sure some of you may have been like, why is there a dash and those are solid? That's why. Solid, they're on the line. They're sitting on the plane versus going through it. Okay? So you and your group, 1, 2, 3 using the diagram. And then number 4, you draw the diagram with making sure all of these fit. All right, so go ahead. See what you got, you and your group. You got it. You got it. Please use your notation. Don't write L-I-N-E. All right, use the notation we just been talking about. All right, here we go. First one. How about a line containing point X? What do you got for me? A line containing point X. Boom. 11 again, William. Say that again. Sorry, I just didn't hear. XR, yep, line XR. Guys, please make sure we are using our new notation here for a line. Line XR. Multiple answers here that are correct, right? I could go XR. If I didn't want to use any of the points, I could have used the lowercase letter next to the arrow, line M. Or you could have called it any combination of XYR as long as you had 2 letters. Can you use all 3? Yeah, you can use 3. All right, good work. A line containing point Z, the one that's going through the plane now. 12, let's name that line. Olivia. Line L, yeah, sure. You want to use that lowercase letter? Fine. Line L. And the only other versions that you could have were RZ or ZR. Okay, that's about it. Okay. And then finally, how about a plane containing W and R? A plane containing those points. Name that plane correctly. 3. In?
Plane B.
Plane B, yep. Make sure we spell out plane. There's no symbol for it. Or, all right, if anybody used the points in there, make sure the 3 points you picked do not form a straight line. So if I went X, Y, W. All right, I could name it X, Y, W. That does not form a line. We all good? All right, now to the diagram, which I agree. The diagrams are the most stressful. It's easy just to look at one and figure out an answer. But like I was saying to you guys before you started, take it piece by piece, right? Plane Z, I'm stopping right there. Plane Z. Oh, that must mean I got to put in one of the corners a Z. That's not a point, but that's how I name that plane. I keep reading. Oh, I have 2 lines right now, X and Y. Getting nervous. So now My two lines, X and Y, are in the plane and they intersect each other. How do I name them? Well, these aren't points, so my X and Y, and they intersect at a point called V. Again, your diagram doesn't have to look like mine, just as long as it satisfied all the criteria. And then finally, there's a third line, right, which is called W, that intersects X. So I get out my pencil again, get another line that intersects line X, call that W, and make sure that intersects at a point called P. All right? Questions from you guys there? Now, I also just want to make sure we're clear here. If your line went past the plane, that's okay. Because what do we know about planes? They extend infinitely. So even if my line, it's like, here's what I'm talking about. Let's say I do a line that looks like that. That line is still on the plane. All right, it's just my plane's not drawn big enough yet. All right, so that's fine. Just as long as it doesn't have the dots. Okay, questions, comments about your first four? I have a couple more vocabulary terms to cover. Slide left. Good. Slide left. Next one. Collinear. Collinear. I cringe every time I ask this question every year. What word is contained in collinear? Linear and line, right? Usually, sometimes some kid will go, oh, ear, and I'm like, what do I do with the word ear in this class, right? Yes, line, linear. They are points all on the same line. Okay? Points are collinear if they all are on the same line. So yes, I'm doing overkill here for an honors level class. So if you could draw this diagram where it says pictures, I'll give you a minute. I'm going overkill to make a point. I'm going to put a bunch of points on here now. All right, here's what I need from somebody. Give me three. I don't want two. We're at honors level here. Three points that are collinear. So points blank, blank, blank are collinear. Okay? Points blank, blank, blank are collinear. Give me 3 points in my diagram that are collinear for me. Let's start with number 2. Zoe, you got 3 points for me? IFE. Good work. Hey, hold on, though. Make sure we just don't write IFE, because these are points. I want to make sure they're separated. So I, comma, F, comma, E. IFE. Ooh, what class are we in again? This is honors, right? I just don't want one. Give me another pair. Give me another set of 3. Let's go. 7. Amy, another set of 3. Good job. D, H, and G. All right, well, if I have collinear, let's talk non-collinear. 3 points that aren't on the same line. So let's save ourselves some frustration, right? Picture, just say C above. So give me 3 points now that are not collinear. Points blank, blank, blank are non-collinear. What do you got for me here? 3, Aiden.
HEC.
H, E, and C was the other one? Yeah, nice job. I'm glad you picked those particular ones. You saved me some work here now. Okay, let me just talk about what Aiden just gave you. And that's 100% correct. Those three are not on the same line. We all agree? But I know some of you might be saying, well, H and C are. Doesn't matter as long as all three are. All right? All three together cannot be on the same line. I don't care about 2 out of 3. All three cannot be on the same line. All good? Thank you. All right, last vocabulary term. Star. Yeah, that's an easy one. You can have collinear. How about coplanar? Yeah, points on the same plane, but also now I'm going to be a little bit more detailed with it. You can also have lines on the same plane. Now, I don't know what type of artistic ability lies in this class, but I can tell you mine is awful. Borderline embarrassing. The only thing I can do well is what I'm about to have you draw, which is a cube. All right, so if you can draw a cube for me, great. Wait till later on in the year when I have to start drawing trees and airplanes for the word problems. It's just going to be a flat-out embarrassment. So I'm just warning everybody. And then each corner we are going to label. All right, so let's talk. Let's start with points that are coplanar before we get to lines. Points blank, blank, blank are coplanar. And I'm going to help you out. I'm just not going to call on somebody and say, give me the answer. Let's first start here, kids. How many planes are on the cube? How many planes did you just draw? 6. Everyone agree? 6 planes. So what I want you to do is focus on one of those 6 planes and give me 3 points off it. They're coplanar. All right, so there's 6 planes you just drew. You focus on 1 out of the 6 and give me 3 points off that plane. And those 3 will be coplanar. All right, so give me 3 right now. Give me 3 off one of the 6 planes. Let's start here. 5. Let's roll, Haley.
Points FEC.
FEC, yep. Make sure we separate it by commas. Haley is giving me, she is looking at this plane right up front here. That's the plane she focused on, and she gave me 3 points. Great work. All right, now we mentioned points can be coplanar, so can lines. So now I want you to give me 2 lines that would be coplanar. So line this and line this are coplanar. I want you to do the same exact thing you did for me for the points. Pick one of the 6 planes and give me 2 lines off that. Okay. Now, I know you guys are in honor, so I know many of you might be thinking this right now. Wait a second. Those don't have arrows. How can they be lines? They are planes, and what do we know about planes? They go infinite. So actually, FE is part of a line. All right, because it goes infinite, we're just given a smaller diagram. All right, so give me 2 lines on there that would be considered coplanar. Oh, 5 again, Haley.
Line BC,
BCN,
DC.
DC. Yep, now she's taking the bottom plane on the floor there and giving me those. Perfect. Just as long as it's on the same one. And you guys don't change it, you're probably correct. All right, so we have 4 questions here in class. All right, using the diagram to the right to see if we understand what collinear and coplanar mean. So on you guys, go ahead. I'll give you a few minutes to end class, and then we'll go over it together. How many planes are in this figure, huh? How many planes I got rocking here? 1. Charlie, how many planes?
5.
5 planes. Good start, huh? Good start. 5 planes. Name 3 points that are collinear. 3 points that are collinear, meaning all 3, not 2 out of 3. All 3 have to be on the same line. 3, Aiden? ACE. This one, ready? This here to here to here. They're on the same plane, but do they form a line? Remember what a line is, right? So those wouldn't be collinear, they'd be coplanar. So now can you give me three that are on the same line?
A, H, B.
There you go. Hey, see the difference? Okay, the three you gave me, perfect. They're coplanar, but I can't form a line with them. All right, so AHB. Some of you, make sure you got commas separating them. Some of you could have also had FJ to B. All right, F to J to B. That's collinear as well. So either set was fine. All right, now here's where we get complicated here. Are AHJD coplanar? Now, how many points did I just list off for you? 4. I'm looking for all 4 to be on the same plane. Not 3 out of 4. That won't cut it. It's got to be all 4 of those points. So watch. Get rid of this in here. Let me connect them. A, H, J, D. Are those one of the 5 planes you told me about? No. No. Now look, I get rid of D. The answer is yes. See the difference? Because I added D in, all 4 are not on the same plane, just A, H, and J. And then how about B, D, and F? Do those form one of the 5 planes? B, D, F? Yep, it's the one in the back. Oh. B to D to F forms that one right there. So that's a big yes. Okay? Any questions, comments, concerns? All right, good work today. You guys see it's out of the textbook, right? So we know what that means. Those pages are on Classroom. Check your answers after you're done. Check your answers. Go ahead and get started. I think you got plenty of time here. What's this, period 5? Yeah, you guys got 11 minutes, so plenty of time to get it going.